Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts, NYJ Matt. And Matt, we have a very special guest today. You all know him. He works for SNY. He covers the Jets and the Giants. He probably likes the Giants more. We're just joking. He's a very unbiased reporter. It is Connor Hughes. Connor, thank you so much for coming on. We really do appreciate it.
No problem, guys. Thank you so much. I always feel bad because you guys know I love you both. And then so when you asked me to come on here, it's harder now, which you guys will realize, like when time comes for you. Like once you have a kid, like free time is very, very different. So it's always like, man, I want to get on with those guys. I want to get on with those guys. And then just carving out when your schedules are open, my schedules are open. So even like when we pieced this one together, it was like the last second of, hey, can you do it now? No, but I could at 9:30. Okay, and boom, let's do it. So I'm pumped to be on with you guys. It's always a blast.
We're happy you did it. Connor came to our tailgate week 1, and
that was a blast. You guys, it's a legit tailgate too.
You would have thought that like Jesus Christ was resurrected when he came here. These people treated Connor like a god, a great reporter. They gave him food, they gave him drinks. But Connor, we got a handful of questions. We'll start out. What the fuck is happening with this Jets team? A team that we like players on it. They're not as bad as 2020, but how are you 0-5? Take us through like what you're seeing, immediate thoughts, like what the fuck happened for the first 5 weeks of the year.
So offensively, I think they are what we thought they were. Like I haven't been surprised or disappointed, and I don't think you guys probably either have been.
No.
With what you've seen from offense. The line isn't as good as it would have been if Elijah Vera Tucker was out there, but it's still a pretty good line. The receivers are really good with Garrett Wilson, and then you have a really big question mark opposite him. Mason Taylor's coming to his own. You've probably gotten a little bit more out of Jeremy Ruckert than you expected. The rushing attack is really good. Like you got it with Breece Hall. Braylon Allen was looking pretty good before the injury. Isaiah Davis is a decent number 2, number 3, third down back, however you want to view him. And Justin Fields is what Justin Fields is, a player who is a ridiculous athlete, who will make really good plays with his legs. If his first read is there, he will hit it probably 60 to 65% of the times, but he's going to miss some other open guys. There have been good moments with the offense. There have been bad moments with the offense. There's been times where Fields held the ball longer literally than any other quarterback in the NFL, and that leads to hits and mistakes. But there's other times where he makes really good throws, and the Jets move down the field and score points. None of that has surprised me. The reason the Jets are 0-6 is because of their defense. And it has been shocking to see how bad they are. It's like this ridiculous wholesale regression where it's like all the technique and like rookie mistakes and just dumb flaws that you don't expect to see from a pretty veteran maybe not by age wise, where there's not a ton of 30-year-olds on the team, but guys who have played a lot of football shouldn't be making. The bad pursuit and bad angles by Quincy and Sherwood before Quincy got hurt, the alarming number of missed tackles week after week after week, the lack of a pass rush from Quinnen and Will. And I know they're missing Jermaine Johnson, but he's not some magic elixir even when he comes back this week against the Broncos. And the secondary, you thought there might be some issues opposite Sauce Gardner, but not this many issues opposite Sauce Gardner. And then Sauce hasn't been as bad as people make him out to be, but he still seems to let up 1 or 2 big plays a game. That's the biggest difference between what are we now, 4 Sauce, right? I think it's year 4. I can't remember year 4 or 5. But that's the biggest difference in year 4 Sauce compared to 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is he didn't let up the big plays. If he let up a catch, it was a 5-yard catch, 6-yard catch. He's still letting up the same 2-3 catches a game that he always did. The difference is it's like a 15-yard first down or a 40-yard touchdown to George Pickens. So that's the biggest and most alarming thing for the Jets right now, is that defense is just so bad. And guys, I had a defensive coordinator text me today who had watched some film, because I watch the All-22. I'm not a coach. I make that very, very clear. I'm not a huge X's and O's guy. I'm very understanding that the people who do this professionally understand and know a lot more X's and O's intricacies than I do. The defensive coordinator was telling me that the Jets were constructed, and it's not Robert Saleh, because I realized it said defensive coordinator. So like, oh, it's Robert.
It's
No,
Greg.
it's not.
It's Greg Williams. We know it's Greg Williams.
It's Greg. Yeah, it's Greg.
Jeff Olbrich. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a coach.
This defense was constructed to, how do I word this? The defense was constructed to play zone. That's what it was. It was rush with the 4, pressure with the 4, and then play zone coverage. That's what they were going to do. And you kind of need to have coaches that are really detailed and know their shit in order to run that kind of coverage, because zone is not easy. It truly involves teaching and learning and repping. And they built a team that was used to that, and they ran it really, really well those final few years under Robert and under Jeff. They did a really good job with it. Now it's like Aaron and Steve came in. They want to run man. They don't necessarily have great man corners outside of Sauce Gardner. Everybody's struggling with that. So now they're trying to pivot and go back to zone, but Steve and Aaron Glenn aren't great. They don't know the intricacies of playing zone coverage, so they're not coaching it as well as the last guys are, and it's all just falling apart. But that was that guy's particular take. I ran it by Connor Rogers, and he seemed to agree with it. It's just, though, it's bad, and it's really bad because of that defense and throwing the penalties and the turnovers and ill-advised stuff like that. But the defense has been such a disappointment so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think to your point, Connor, too, like you could have probably predicted some of these stat lines out before the year with Garrett's target share and Mason Taylor and Brees in the passing game. If you said Fields would have no interceptions kind of thing, you would think the Jets would probably have a better record. But then that defense, and you mentioned all these guys just now, but the injuries that the Jets had, you mentioned Jermaine's supposed to come back next week. Is there any update on Quincy? Braylon Allen's going to be out for a while.
Still in the IR. Yeah, Braylon's going to be out 8 to 12, I think Glenn said. So that's going to be a bit for him. I'd probably be surprised if he plays again this year. It wouldn't make sense. Carter's still on the injured. No, Carter's out. I just actually saw the tweet come through. I'm not mistaken. I don't think he's traveling with the team. So Carter's not going to be playing. And Quincy's still on the injured reserve. They haven't activated him off of that yet. So it's got to be a minimum of 4 weeks. And he went down week 3, right? Was that when Quincy went down week 3? I don't think it was week 2. I think it was week 3. So he's still got 1 more week before they can activate him if they want to, or if he's ready. He'd be someone they'd like to have back. Quincy was thinking a little much, which was leading to a lot of mental errors. But the thing is that when Quincy's on the field, you're getting 1 or 2 plays a game that are real game changers, whether it's a major hit, a sack. He's a good blitzer. He's a real good blitzer. Things like that. You deal with some of the other bugaboos because you're getting that. It's just going to – he's not – I don't think the magic elixir is there. And then you have, unfortunately, the downside of the penalties and the ill-advised turnovers. And then it seems like once this team gets punched in the face, the spiral starts and the spiral happens. And I know Glenn doesn't like talking about it, but the woe is me, here we go again, does seem to plague this team quite a bit.
And real quick, because Matt has a very good segment coming up, but Connor, are you going to the game? Are you going to the game in London?
Dude, my schedule this week is wild. So today we're recording this on Monday.
Yes.
Tuesday, I'm at Giants practice. Wednesday is a day off, but I'm recording the 2 shows. Thursday, I have Giants versus Eagles on Thursday Night Football. Friday evening, I'm flying to London. I land Saturday morning, get a chance to walk around, probably get a dinner and stuff like that. Wake up the next day, have Jets Broncos in London. Then I get on a flight and fly home, and then Tuesday recording another show. So it's going to be a hectic couple days here.
I will be in London.
Are you going?
Yes, I will be there. Hopefully we can meet up and have a drink at a pub.
Oh, I would love that. I think, dude, cask beer is awesome, and you are going to love that stadium. It's Tottenham, right?
Yes, it is the Spurs. Tim Duncan,
dude. Yeah, dude. It is the stadium is awesome. I think what I personally love, getting a little off topic, but like what I personally love about it is a lot of press boxes are blocked off. I think you guys have joked with me before about like, oh, let's go up to the press box. Let's go to press box.
Joked.
Yeah. You don't want to go up there. It's not fun. Like it's not enjoyable to be up there. There's no noise. You can't make any noise. The food really isn't all that great. And you're just sitting at a desk with like glass in front of you. So you can't even hear the fans and stuff like that.
What happens if you make noise? Does your former quarterback try to stab you? Like what would happen if you tried to make noise?
Dude, you can actually get kicked out. That happened in Philly. Like a guy got kicked out in Philly for making noise. Like it's considered, they make the announcement every day. Reminder: this is a working press box. There'll be no cheering, blah blah blah,
Wow.
that kind of a thing. So you
It's
literally,
hard to
it's
be a
not
dick
that
in
fun.
Philly. That's interesting.
Yeah, right. No, they're loud over there too.
It is.
It's not super fun to be out there. Like, it's really not. But the cool thing about the stadium in London, that I haven't been to Wembley. That's the one this will be my third time there. This is the only one I've covered. The press box is almost like basketball, where it's press row, and you're right at the 50-yard line. So like 10 yards in front of you are fans, and like 5 yards behind you are a bunch of fans. So you are engulfed in the atmosphere. It is so cool. And there's some stadiums like Detroit is open air, New Orleans is open air. There's a handful of them around the NFL that are the press box is open, and it's you hear it, like you truly hear the experience. Tottenham is a totally different animal because you're literally in the crowd. You are in the crowd covering the game. It's so cool. You're gonna love it, Mike. And one of the coolest things about it too is everybody, when they play the national anthem there, God Save the King, everybody sings it. So it's like goosebump worthy. Like, it's wild. Yeah, it's really cool.
I'm gonna get seats right behind the press row and just heckle Connor all day.
Wait, is it your first time in London? Have you ever been there before?
I've been to London one other time briefly, so this is gonna be a good
were you of age? Were you of 21 yet?
I was, but I really spent like one day in the city.
Okay,
so.
it's really all you need. It's not like London's not that great, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The food's not that awesome, but the cool thing is the pubs and the cask beer, where it's basically everything's. It's not carbonated, so there's no preservatives in it, so you can drink a ton of it and not feel like shit the next day. Whoa. And it also goes down. It's room temperature. It tastes better, and I've got like a gluten intolerance thing. I can even drink that and not feel like crap the next day. So I will 100% meet up with you for some beers. If
Connor,
I think I land at 8 a.m.
I've seen Mike drink 40 beers and 10 Fireball shots and want to play basketball at 8:30 in the morning. The kid has a tolerance that you
Monmouth, baby. That's that Monmouth education,
That's right.
man. That's that Monmouth education. Only excellence comes from that university.
Hawks.
Connor,
you've 3-1 in football, by the way. I only know that because they are now a sponsor of one of our shows, and that was on the read. Is that the football team's 3-1 so far?
There we go.
For them. All right, Connor. This is our 5th time you've been on Broadway Jets.
Is it really 5 times?
And we have our subscriber counter here at 2133.
Let's go.
Good for you guys.
Don't forget to subscribe. But Connor, we got a new game presented by X Videos. It's called 50 Shades of Grey or Giants Beat Writer.
Okay.
50 Shades of Grey or Giant Beat Writer. This is an excerpt. His voice cracked. His legs were heavy. His eyes dropped. He was smiling. I went over, grabbed his neck, and we made out. Is that a Jets? Is that a Giants beat writer, or is that a 50 Shades of Grey quote?
I'm gonna say 50 Shades of Grey.
That's actually Pat Leonard from the New York Daily News. I threw in one extra quote at the end there, but that is Pat Leonard.
I love Pat.
Connor, that was one of my favorite days ever on Twitter because when we were texting, you were like, guys, like I'm writing how it went down, which is
literally what happened. And I left out the fact that like I left out you guys know, like I left out some details where I was like, this is too much. Like I can't include that, and I removed it. And then it was like I ran it. I really didn't think anything about it. Like I remember I was joking with like one of my buddies who was giving me shit for it. And I'm like, dude, I thought so. I sent it to Bree and was like, I really like this column. Like, look at my transitions. Like, you should read this one. And she was like, wow, it was like a little crazy lead, but like, yeah, it was pretty good. And then I just never expected to blow up like it did.
Well, it's not your fault if that's what happened.
It is now
so fucking funny.
Yeah, the one that they get me for is like, and I should the one. My regret with it and what I wish I worded differently was it's quieter now, less around. I was trying to like my thought process with it was they had such a wild embrace on the field. And now in the locker room, like all of the players were gone, absent Dart and Dable. There were only a handful of media guys in there, maybe one other player. I think Brian Burns was talking in the corner. That's it, because Dart was like one of the last guys to speak. So I was trying to set the scene of this was kind of a secluded personal moment between the two. That it wasn't 80,000 people in the stands plus the Fox cameras on them. That this is just Dable and Brian in the corner of or Dable and Dart in the corner of the locker room sharing this moment is what I was trying to say. And when I wrote that line, it's actually we have a group chat with some Giant writers, and Dan Duggan made it It's quieter now is the name of our group chat now, thanks to Dan Duggan. So I have been getting this left, right, and sideways from everybody.
Oh,
So
man.
And I have breaking news for you, Connor.
Good
I've actually went out of my way, and I can do a public submission. I've submitted you for a Pulitzer Peace Prize award for writing that article. I think it was great.
I appreciate you, buddy.
We'll see how that comes out. Mike,
I'll tell you what. The amazing part about this, dude, is I shit you not. The probably 4 days after that, like I said, I was spiraling at first. I was like, oh my God, did I really mess up here? Like, my boss is gonna be mad, and my bosses weren't. But like my buddy Dan Duggan hit me up. He goes, Connor, he goes, what the hell are you worried about? You just tapped into a completely unmarked territory of like erotic sports stories. I literally had they're sending me them in our group chat. There are people that are writing that, like, not Jet fans, not Giant fans. Like, I get it from them because they follow me or it's spread within New York and people get it. There was like a Cleveland Indians writer or Cleveland Guardians writer that wrote like the same erotic story about the team that did not follow me, doesn't follow. Like, so it has transcended now to other sports where people are writing it. And it's like, just every time I see them, it blows my mind every time. But I will say I'm stepping down from the scene setting leads for
you have to go all in. I'm
gonna take a look.
You have to go all in.
Yeah.
Like, the context matters. It all happened.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it sounded like
I was like, dude, I'm Team Connor. That's what happened. Got to report it.
It read so ridiculous, but it's what happened. Like, that's the thing. Is like, yeah, it was ridiculous, but like what happened was ridiculous. Like, just wild, dude. Wild couple days. It's died down a little bit now until this blows it back up again. But it's been it was. I remember when I looked at it. I tweeted it out and it started going, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty crazy. You guys hit me up, and I was like, okay, like, cause it's weird. It's like, if I write something positive about the Giants, Jet fans get all ornery and angry. And then when I write something positive about the Jets, Giant fans get all ornery and angry. So it's like, okay, I have more Jet fans than Giant followers, or Jet followers than Giant followers. So like, I was like, it makes sense why people are angry. I wrote something good about Dart, and they're all angry at me. What I didn't expect was I went home, and the next morning I woke up and it had like 1.5 million impressions, and I was like, oh shit, this is viral now.
Did you see Dable and Dart fucking were trending on Twitter?
I did not see that. I
made that up.
I did not. That one I did not. No.
Oh man. I had a nice moment.
Next one.
That was amazing. Connor, back to the Jets.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So the Jets are 0-5. Probably not going to make the playoffs. Even I'll say that. Are the Jets going to?
You said probably.
Probably not. You never know.
Yeah. First
are the Jets going to make? Are they going to make some moves? Are they going to trade Brees? Are they going to trade some guys on expiring contracts? What's going on in Jetland?
Harder to trade Brees now without Braylon, because you still have a locker room that can't go totally in the tank.
Right.
If Braylon was still there, and I'm a big fan of Braylon, I think he's very good. If you still have Braylon on the roster, it's easier to trade Brees, because you can say we're going with the 1-2 punch of Braylon, who can be our first and second down back. Isaiah can be our third down back. And look at this, we got a third round pick for Brees Hall, because he's playing pretty well. He doesn't have the same burst and explosion and home run capabilities. There were 2 or 3 runs. I remember one against the Dolphins, which I thought rookie year Brees scores on. And there was another 2 here against the Cowboys that, again, I thought rookie Brees Hall scores on him, and he got tackled. Still impressive runs, but he doesn't have that home run ability anymore. It's kind of been robbed of him, which is a bummer, but still, he's a really quality back who can catch the ball out of the backfield and help a really good team. He would absolutely help a really good team. I think you could get a 3 from a contender for him. I don't know why you couldn't.
He's on pace for 1,700 all-purpose yards, to your point.
Yeah, if you're a contending team, a 3 is basically a 4. Why do you care? And if he's going to help you make a run to the Super Bowl again, why not do it? Go get him. The problem is that if you trade Brees now and you throw out a backfield of, I don't even know who their third back is now, because Kenne's hurt. Avery Williams.
Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert, Avery Williams, and Isaiah Davis. Because you're without now Braylon for 8 to 12 weeks. That sends such a horrible message to the locker room. So that's a concern. You could still be blown away if the Jets are, when's the trade deadline now? They just pushed it back again, didn't they?
8 or 9, something like that.
It's after that. I thought it was after week 8. It used to be week 8. I thought they changed it to week 10 or something.
The new.
But say they're 1-9. or they're 1-8 at the deadline, or 2-7 even. You're not coming back. And then I genuinely believe that Glenn and Muji need to have a very serious conversation and decide amongst themselves, are we going to franchise tag Breece Hall, or are we going to let him hit free agency? And if you're going to let him hit free agency, just trade him to a team and give him a third-round pick. Like, get the third-round pick and round it out, and then roll through with Isaiah Davis until Braylon Allen gets back. But the problem is if they're 3 wins or if they're 4 wins or anything like that, you can't trade him, because that just tells the rest of the locker room you're going in the tank, and it's going to be bad. It's a terrible message. The only other one I could see potentially being dealt would be Quinnen, for the same reason that he's very low on guaranteed money remaining on his contract for base salary. If they don't believe that they're going to sign him in terms of give him more money, because Quinnen's already gone to them asking for more money, and they said, we're not doing that right now. If they don't want to pay him again, or don't believe they're going to pay him again, Quinnen wants to go play for a contender, because that guy's dealt with more losing than anybody else on this roster, then he's somebody you could get a 1 and a 3 for, 1 and a 4 for. You could 100% get something legit, like really good. And suddenly, if you're talking to me about trading Breece Hall and getting a 3, and trading Quinnen and getting a 1 and a 3, and suddenly you're going into next draft with 2 1s, a 2, and 2 3s, it's a pretty good spot to be in for Darren Muji, trying to rebuild a team that's clearly a little bit further away than people expected, myself included. But aside from those 2 guys, I don't see anyone that has any trade value. Allen Lazard, maybe the Jets were hoping that he would do that. That's not the case. You're not going to trade Reynolds. You're obviously not trading the big guys of Garrett Wilson and anyone else who has value. Same thing. Yeah, I just don't see that happening. So unfortunately, that's
the Quinnen one's surprising too, because you give him for 96 or whatever in 2023. So he plays 2 years on that contract. Now, if he would have had 13.5 sacks, 1 million tackles for loss, and wanted to get a new contract in year 3, I get it. I feel like he's playing to his number right now. And with 2 years remaining on it, I think the Jets would keep him throughout this year. It's hard to trade a captain, and then you're really punting, to your point. But speaking of the locker room, Connor.
Well, real quick on Quinnen, I don't think it's about new money. It's about converting current money. There's no guarantees left. So he'd be plenty happy. I'm unfortunately turned around from my computer. If you look it up, I think it's $5 million left. It's guaranteed on his base salary for next year. So he might have, say, a $20 million base salary, and I think $5 million of it's guaranteed. If you look on Over the Cap, something along those lines. Give him take the base salary and convert $10 million of it to a signing bonus, so he gets that $10 million, spreads it out, gives you some cap relief, and then build in another $5 million in incentives, similar to what the Giants did with Dexter Lawrence.
$4.9 million dead cap. Look at you, Connor, with your with your cap knowledge.
But you just look at the base salary, and then if it's on OTC, it's base salary, and then it's guaranteed base salary. Yeah, there's 2 things, and the base is like 20. And
Connor, I'll send it to you. I have a book that explains the salary cap.
I think VJ wrote it. I think I have it here.
That's a terrible name, is BJ.
VJ, VIJ.
Much
he
better.
wrote it with crunching numbers. Are you talking about crunching numbers?
Yeah.
Right there?
Yep. Okay. I have that one.
Nice.
Yeah, VJ is a great dude, man. So, I would, it's awesome. So, you can, that's one of the things I was talking about converting, but just convert some of his base salary to guaranteed, and then build in some, you can avoid it by being on the cap by labeling them as unlikely to be attained incentives.
Yep.
And it can be playing time. It can be the Dexter Lawrence was Dan Duggan of The Athletic just highlighted what Dexter Lawrence's are for the incentives that the Giants built in for him, because he was underpaid for a really good player. So the Giants gave him like $5 million in incentives this year, and it's play X, get X sacks, the defense improves by X measures, and you'll get a bunch more money. So, or $5 million, a couple $1 million more, something like that. So there's ways to do it. Convert the base salary, guarantee some money, give him a new signing bonus, and then Quinnen's going to be happy. The Jets were just unwilling to do that. It was essentially Sauce got paid, Garrett got paid. Quinnen was like, dude, can you fix me here? And the Jets were like, we're not doing that now. So if they're not willing to do that moving forward, Quinnen's going to be unhappy. And then why do you have that? Just go get these ridiculous picks you can get back for him.
Very interesting. Well, we got 2 more questions.
And I don't think he'll be traded. I will say that. I don't think he'll be traded, but it's just one to monitor if you're looking for
When
that.
Harrison Glazer clips this tweet and posted that says Connor Hughes said that the Jets are going to trade Quinnen, we'll get you in trouble. But we have 2 questions to go. getting pretty late. We'll get you back on
You
later
guys are
in the
good.
year.
No, it's fine. I have nothing to do. My wife's sleeping. The baby's sleeping. I'm good. So as long as you guys don't have to go to bed, you can have me. I can stay on until whenever. I'm good.
Okay. Well, I got one. Aaron Glenn. I think I was one of the first on it on the non-beat reporter, where I'm like, the way that he communicates with the beat.
Oh yeah, you were quick.
Is unbelievably tense. And there's interviews. I think it was a press conference on Tuesday of last week. You came out or Wednesday, and you were like, that was the best press conference we've had with Aaron Glenn.
Yes.
It was very insightful, very cool. The way that he gets on the players, a few moments you see on the sideline, you posted when he was in the locker room in Miami freaking out on the team. Are the players buying in? Because on the field, they're not.
Great question.
They're playing terrible. But are the players in practice, behind the scenes, in the locker room, are they bought in? Because I don't think he's going to be a one-and-done coach by any means. But the only way you can become a one-and-done coach is if you go like 0-17 and the players can't stand you. Yeah. So are the players buying into Glenn right now, or is there a little bit of lack of trust that they have with them?
So I'll say this. Aaron Glenn is getting close to $12 million per year for the Jets. They almost doubled Robert Saleh's salary when they gave to Glenn. That's a ton of money for a first-time head coach with no experience. Coaching contracts are guaranteed. I don't know if it's a 5 or a 6 year deal. Most coaching contracts are about 5 years. The concept of the Jets firing Glenn after 1 year and Woody having to pay him $11 million every single year for the next 4 years, while also paying the next head coach of the New York Jets another, say, $6 to $7 million per year. Then if that coach fails, firing him after 2 years and then having to hire someone else and paying 3 coaches, it would never happen. It's just Woody doesn't spend money like that. That is not something he would do. So I genuinely, I don't think the Jets going 0-17. I still think he could potentially survive that just from the financial ramifications of cutting him. You bring up a great point though on the message being received, and it's been tense. And Glenn continues to say, "We're not the same old Jets. We're not the same old Jets. We're not the same old Jets, and we're not the same old Jets because listen to the message that I'm preaching, and the players say the same thing back every time you talk to them. We all see it. Everyone says the same thing. It means we're all in lockstep. We're all linking arms. We're all saying the same thing." That's fine. I don't really give a shit what people are saying. I care what you're doing. That's what I care about. And I was very curious how the Jets were going to come out against the Cowboys because Glenn was berating them in that locker room after the Dolphin game. It was just an ass chewing like I have not heard. And fans used to get on Saleh when the Jets didn't do well and all that stuff because he wouldn't yell on the sideline. And Saleh's reasoning for it, flawed or not, was that these are grown-ass men. And grown-ass men who are making millions and millions of dollars do this do not appreciate being mother effed and dragged through the mud and treated like children. And so he took it all as learning experiences. And he would scream and yell with them when things are going well, but he was never going to berate them. Glenn was berating them in that locker room after the Dolphin game. And when that is done appropriately, when a coach doesn't do it all the time, and when he does it appropriately and it's that shock factor, you usually see teams respond. It's almost like, oh, shit, we got to get our stuff in order. The Jets responded against the Cowboys after that ass chewing by falling behind by 20 in the first half, committing double-digit penalties again, double-digit missed tackles again, was 30-6 going into the fourth quarter. They weren't blocking. They were taking horrible angles. They looked lifeless. They were turning it over again. Nothing's getting better. So it's good, I guess, that the players are regurgitating what Aaron Glenn is saying to them, but does it matter if nothing's getting better? The same problems that we saw in the opener against the Steelers are still there, and they've been there in weeks 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm sure they're going to be there against the Broncos in London. It's just I don't know. I don't know what else they can do. I don't know how to fix it. I'm sorry. I'm truly kind of dumbfounded by it all. But is the message getting through? I'll be honest with you. I would say no. And the reason I would say no is because nothing is changing and nothing is getting better. It's not. And
you're in 2025. It's not 1998 anymore. And coaching is so different in the NFL. And MLB has
100%. Great point. Yeah.
If you look at MLB, it's like a very individualistic sport when you're out there. batter versus pitcher. Like you can have an old style coach not in the analytics and still be fine.
Yeah.
If you're gonna beat this hard ass, it needs to go well. Last thing I have before Mike goes, is there any element to Darren Muji being the almost junior leader in that team where Joe Douglas ran the show?
Yes.
And now Aaron Glenn feels like he's running it. And Muji with a swing and a miss on all his day 3 picks to this point, where Muaga, Tyler Barron, these guys probably can't even be rostered right now playing meaningful snaps, and injuries happen. His free agency moves they're not hitting. Take me through if Darren Muji could be the guy to be like, all right, we might have fucked up with that one. Glenn, you're saying for another year, new GM. Is that something that you could see Woody doing if things go way too haywire?
Good question. If things go way haywire and he was looking for somebody to pay, maybe. But even then, this Muji was the guy that Glenn wanted. Glenn, I think originally, it was the Lance Newmark was the guy who was pigeonholed to be the Jets general manager, and I think that when the Jets were piecing this together, they knew that Lance and Glenn worked together in Detroit, so they just assumed that Glenn and Newmark were really tight. And then when they told Glenn, like, we're hiring Newmark, Glenn was basically like, why? We're not that close. And Muji was the dude that he wanted. They knew each other. He was pretty confident in him. He believed in him. He came highly regarded from Sean Payton in Denver and his time there. He saw a lot and experienced a lot there climbing the ranks. So if you were looking for someone to pay, but I still don't see it. I mean, it was a bad day 3. I will say that it's hard to judge a general manager on his very first draft class because for the most part, he's drafting based off of reports that he didn't get from his staff. So that first draft, you can look at Joe Douglas's, you can look at Mike McCagnon's, you can look at everybody's, even really successful general managers. Their first draft when they're hired as a GM is so hard because they're working with the last guy's staff and the last guy's reports. So it's a challenge, especially later in the draft where you are really reliant on those scouts that have their foot on the ground. Again, also think about this. The scouts were scouting for Robert Saleh's defense and Nathaniel Hackett and Todd Downing's offense. That's what the scouts spent the entire season doing. And then those guys get fired in January and the new staff comes in. They weren't looking for the players for what Tanner wants to do and what Steve Wilkes wants to do because those guys weren't the head coach. The guys weren't offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. So it's very challenging that first year. And you really see them coming to their own usually after that first draft when they fire everybody, bring their guys in, and then they go. So there's a lot to be wanted and desired after this first off season because I think if we sat here and said, what are the biggest issues the Jets face in February, we would have said the exact same issues they currently have going into week 6. I don't think they really fixed anything, but you got to give them a little more time. 0-17. I don't think the Jets are going 0-17, man. If the 2020 team didn't go 0-16, these Jets aren't going.
But Connor, a lot of people online, like I would say 30% of the fan base, truly believes we're going to go 0-17. And me and Mike keep saying you're a ball going your way from being in 3 games to win them. Like out of the 5 games you've played,
there's not a defeated kind of team. And I will say in
the
defensive
Steeler game,
Steeler
game,
Tampa, you're
definitely
up.
Been a 1. Tampa was up, but Tampa went prevent in the 4th quarter.
But
so
my argument is if you can almost win in Tampa, you can win a game randomly with 12 games left in the year.
You really could have beat the Cowboys too. That was the Cowboys, the Dolphins. The Cowboys deserve to get smoked.
If they don't fumble the Braylon Allen play, I think they probably beat they were just running. They were running down their throat. But you guys remember, you guys are diehard fans. That 2020 Jets team was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
They were watching games in that year and thinking they were going to win anything. Like the Jets this year, you went into a few games already where
there was one game, Mike.
What the Bronco game
the Denver game?
Dude, I was about to say that.
Yeah,
Mike, you know Joe LaCalandra. You know Joe LaCalandra. So he was texting me after the game, and he goes, "This is the worst team I've ever seen." And I was like, "That's bullshit." No, dude. I was like, "You were there for 2020," and he goes, "But this I was like, "No, it feels worse just because this is failure after failure after failure mounting to this point." But think back to that 2020 team. The Jets weren't just losing every single game. They were getting their asses kicked by bad teams. That Bronco game on Thursday Night Football, Denver was starting their 3rd string quarterback, and they kicked the Jets' ass. Yeah. Like they kicked the Jets' ass with their third string quarterback, and that was every single week. The Raiders stunk too, and the Henry Ruggs Hail Mary, they were in there was the coaching staff was fighting with each other. Everyone hated Adam Gase, Greg Williams. Dude, it was
can I go real quick through the tight games that year because I remember all of them.
The Patriots game.
Yeah, go.
The Patriot Monday night game that Cam Newton we lost in we lost 30-27.
Yes,
but that was close.
Before that was the Bills game when we lost.
Dowell Loggins.
Dowell Loggins got the play calling. And we lost 18-10, and I think Tyler Bass made 6 field goals, and we lost 18-10.
Tyler Ass.
Then
these are bad teams, though, dude. They're losing.
Do you remember who had a pick 6 in that Broncos game that we were just talking about?
Brian Poole.
No, that was a Raider game when they won with Gase. Hilarious.
This was 2020.
2020.
Nate Harrison?
No, he was a better NFL player than
Robertson. Was he 27? Robertson?
No.
Darryl Robertson.
Darryl Robertson. That's a great pull, but no.
What position was he?
He was a corner. It was a corner, and he was honestly a decent player before that. And then he just
Mo Claiborne.
No, Claiborne was a pick 6 against the Colts in 2018.
He was a decent player for the Jets.
He was a decent player before the Jets and was not very good on the Jets.
Because Bryce Hall was hurt early in 2020 and then got the pick against the Chargers in Week 10.
Yeah, he didn't return it for a touchdown though.
Tough.
Who the hell was it?
He's like a French-sounding name. That's my hint.
Okay.
This is gonna make me so angry.
I'm not leaving until I get it.
I don't know how else to give it.
Outside corner.
Yeah.
Outside corner.
Yeah.
I pride myself too on knowing random.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who started for them that year.
Yeah, he started 8 games that year. He was most known as a Colt.
Pierre Desir.
Pierre Desir. I broke his signing. Yeah, Pierre Desir.
Oh, did you? That's awesome.
You know what's amazing about Pierre Desir? The Jets cut him that year, didn't they?
Yeah, or I think
he was their Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. So the Jets cut him that year. He was their Walter Payton Man of the Year, but he was cut by the Jets, and the Ravens picked him up. So the Ravens that year had 2 Walter Payton Man of the Year nominees. The Jets nominated him when he was on the Ravens, and then they had their own guy.
They put in a new rule, though. You can, for your Walter Payton Man of the Year, if they trade them mid-year, you can bring a old player to be your Man of the Year. So the Jets picked Mark Sanchez that year to be their Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Did they really? That's a lie.
But it'd be very funny if they did.
We have to get to that. This year was doing charity. He couldn't finish his charity that year.
That segue to get to there, the last question was I've been over backwards to get there, but also the Raiders game, of course, in 2020, when you give up, people forget the Raiders Hail Mary play. They gave up the same Hail Mary the play before, and Derek Carr overthrew the receiver.
Yes.
They did the exact same thing. Yeah.
Back-to-back Hail Marys.
And Matt, we have to ask Connor about Mark Sanchez. That was the point of your amazing segue. Insane. I do have to defend Darren Muji for 1 second. He did. He's been every other movie made is horrible, but Sauce and Garrett extensions I really liked. Just to put that out there.
The hate on Sauce is still over, but like I said, the biggest issue we talked about earlier in the show. The biggest issue with Sauce is that he's always allowed 3 or 4 completions when he's out there. It's most corners in today's NFL. It's hard to be Revis. Very few people are Revis, so he allows the 2 or 3. The problem right now is he's still allowing the same 2 or 3. It's not like he's getting gashed where he's allowing 7 completions or 8 completions. He's still really good. It's just those 2 are big plays. They're always big plays, it feels like.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's tackling a little bit or two. But Connor, what is your take on the Mark Sanchez? Now that we know, honestly, the pictures came out of the driver, which were pretty terrible, and Sanchez.
And then did you see the video of Sanchez walking down with like a zombie with the giant blood stain where he got stabbed?
Really gross. Dude, I was making more fun of it the last few days, and it was definitely funnier before we had all the details. But what the hell was that? Sanchez seems like a good guy.
So I never covered him, Sanchez, but I've always heard stories. Like I came in 2014. I was covering him part-time, so I was still at Monmouth. But I got Sanchez was gone. His last year with the Jets was 2013. 14 was when he was with the Eagles. And there was always good things people said about him. He was never, and you see some guys in the locker room that they're questionable. There's weird shit with them often, and you can be like, off the field, he's not really a guy that I would want to hang out with. There was never anything like that with Sanchez. He was a playboy, and he certainly enjoyed his time off the field and was kind of immature at times, but there was nothing like this. And the original way that this was portrayed was that he was basically
Yes.
mugged, right? It was like what happened to the guy in London was that he got, or Ireland, he got mugged, and it was like, oh man, Sanchez got stabbed in Indianapolis, he was mugged. And then as the details just keep coming out and out and out, it's like, holy crap, he was the aggressor. And I don't know, man. As all of us have had a few drinks in our time and enjoyed ourselves. I mean, you said Mike put back 40 and 7 shots. I don't think he was, going after and beating the hell out of a 70-year-old driver because he was parked in the wrong spot. Just crazy. Yeah. Just wild. It's almost, and now I saw that the new thing is that he's been charged with a felony that has 1 to 6 years in prison, like a mandatory 1 to 6, I think. Insane.
I just wasn't expecting anything like that. I completely agree.
Yeah. It went from really scary and sad to really funny to back to sad very quickly. Yeah. It's been a whirlwind, but
crazy, man.
You gotta find the video. Like when TMZ comes out, which they will, with the video of the actual fight happening and this like truck, it is gonna be unreal. And he's got to put out a statement and he's got to own it.
Yeah.
And there's 2 types of people that get blacked out drunk. You get blacked out drunk and want to fight people, or you're goofy and you fall on your face. And unfortunately, he picked a night. And people are alleging maybe other stuff involved other than alcohol. Could see that happening. But we covered a lot of topics today. We got Mark Sanchez, Walter Payton Man of the Year. We got Aaron Glenn being bought in. 0-17, 2020. Connor, we thank you a lot, man, for coming on. And anytime
no problem, guys. Thank you for having me.
Come on, you're always welcome to. And we'll keep having fun on Twitter. Mike, any parting words before we wrap up?
I just can't wait to see Connor on Saturday at the pub.
Dude, I'll definitely hit you up, bro. Like 100%. I'll get in. When do you fly in?
I'm flying Friday night, so I land Saturday morning.
Oh, we're literally.
It's got probably the same flight. Are you from JFK?
I land at 8 a.m. No, I fly out of Philly, but I land in at 8 a.m. I land at 8 a.m.
Maybe the same exact time. 7.
That's gonna be hysterical. Just go right to the pub. Just go land right to the pub. What hotel you? Well, we shouldn't say that on air. I was I don't know what hotel you're.
I'll text you the details, and we'll definitely set something up because we have a lot.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm gonna land, drop my stuff off, and then just kind of go explore and stuff like that. I think I'll probably meet up with Zach as well, and some of the other guys that are out there. So you're more than welcome to tag along.
That'd be awesome.
Cool.
Have a good night, boys.
All right, I'll talk to you guys.
Coming on, Connor. Appreciate it, buddy.